Not me. I hear you, but it's good. I don't all move here at once now. That's interesting for me when other people share that as well. Those of you that have been here for a while, y'all have heard me talk about goats. It makes me so excited. Jess was like, are you going to wear those every day? So I might. And I've been meaning to sit down and talk about this a little bit. This is a good opportunity, I guess. Fantastic grades. Let me just brag on her for a little bit because she deserves it. But you never know. You never know what tomorrow holds. Hey, y'all. Welcome to, let me make sure I'm recording because that would be bad if I sat here and yapped and I wasn't recording. Okay. I am. That's something I would do. Hey, y'all. Welcome to today's video. I'm Tiffany. This is our small town life in case you happen to be new. My family of 7, we live in a small town in rural Alabama. Share our day-to-day life with you, show you what it looks like living in a small town in southern United States. Happy to have you here. We'd love to have you as part of the family. And if you're coming back to watch another video, thank you. So happy to have you here. I'm going to answer some questions today. I ask if y'all had any questions that you wanted me to answer. I like to do this a couple times throughout the year. And you did have some questions that actually really blessed my heart, reading through your questions. And just the fact that you want to know more about our family, that you care about the things that we do and what we got going on. That means a lot to us. So thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for the support. There were some comments that said, I don't have a question, but I want you to know I enjoy your videos. Thank you for sharing your family. And that meant a lot to me. So we're going to go ahead and get right into the questions. I'm going to answer as many as I can today. We can sit here and chat for a little bit. I may not get to all of them. Probably won't get to all of them. But I have a video planned later this week. We're going to go to a coffee shop that's not too far from me. One of you actually told me about this coffee shop. I've learned about some pretty neat places because of suggestions that y'all have given me. And this place isn't too far from me. You told me about it, and we're going to go check it out. So maybe we'll get a coffee, probably a hot chocolate. We can sit down, and I'll answer some more questions for you when we do that later this week. But let's see how many we can get through right now. First question is, you and your husband's age. How long have you been married? I'm 36. He is 38. And I had to do the math. We've been married for 17 years. We were high school sweethearts, middle school sweetheart. I was in middle school when we became boyfriend and girlfriend. Wasn't old enough to date, but we were boyfriend and girlfriend. So we've been married for 17 years together, for longer than that. High school sweethearts. Somebody said you need to get that husband of yours on here more often. And I film a lot during the week when he's at work, but sometimes he'll say, oh, they don't want to see me. So I'm going to tell him that you said you want to see more of him. Will you demonstrate how you make the iced coffee? Will you or Easton demonstrate how you make your iced coffee like you mentioned in the grocery haul? I'm not a big coffee drinker, and you even said you don't like coffee, but you want to like coffee. I am the same way. Justin can fix a cup of black coffee and sit and drink it. Not me. I like my hot chocolate, and I can be a little picky about my hot chocolate. But coffee, I just don't care for it, but I want to. I want to like coffee. I do like some iced coffee. And what we usually make when we get it from the store is we get the International Delight Mocha Iced Coffee, and then we add extra creamer to it. He likes the French vanilla. I like the sweet cream. And then if we have it, we'll put whipped topping on it and some chocolate syrup. Try that. I bet you would like it. People would be like, that is not real coffee. I hear you, but it's good. It's the International Delight Mocha Iced Coffee with a little extra creamer and then some whipped topping and chocolate syrup. And we put that over ice. Would you recommend your area for a family to move to? Is there a lot of property for sale? What's the pricing like? So this is a wonderful place to live. I love living here. I may be a little partial because I was born here and raised here, but I love it. It's a great place to raise a family. we're not, I mean, we're very rural, but we're not too far from stores and places you might want to go, get groceries or whatever it might be. And then where we are here in Coleman, we're about halfway between Huntsville and Birmingham. So some of the bigger cities in Alabama, about 45 minutes to an hour from Huntsville, about 45 minutes to an hour from Birmingham. I feel like it's a good location. Can't beat the small town feel. I love living in a small town. It's part of the reason why I share it with you is because I love it so much, and it really is a special place to live. So I would recommend a family moving to this area. Y'all don't all move here at once now, but it's a great place to live. There's property for sale. There's homes for sale. Maybe not as much as there used to be. And as far as pricing, the cost of living in general here is, I would say, lower than average. But just like everywhere else, we've seen inflation. We all feel the rising prices of things. Cost of living in comparison is still relatively low here, but it's a great place. Most importantly to me, it's a wonderful place to raise a family. Would I make a video showing my favorite breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And there were some people that said I'd like to see more recipes. So in case you don't know, I have a second channel. It's called From Mama's Kitchen. And I usually upload there once a week. I've taken a little bit of break over the holidays, but I usually upload there at least once a week. And I share old-fashioned recipes and skills, a lot of which I learned from my mama in her kitchen. I share some Southern cooking. I share canning, those type of things over there. We try out some new recipes from time to time, share some kitchen gadgets and other things. So that's always linked. That channel is always linked down in the description box. And then I'll try to do better here on this channel as well when I'm sharing my day, vlogging my day, sharing what we're eating. Because I know that's interesting for me when other people share that as well. Are you planning to add goats or cows this year? There was actually a couple of questions about animals and plans for adding animals this year. So goats are definitely in the plan. We've always talked about getting goats. Those of you that have been here for a while, y'all have heard me talk about goats. The plan is, so we live right next door to my mom and stepdad, and they have an old shed barn behind their house. They've been cleaning it out. They're going to tear that old shed barn down and rebuild a new one. And then the plan is to put fencing off the back side of it and a space for goats off of it. They've had goats before. Mama loves goats. She's excited about goats. So that's the plan. It's been a lot of work, and it's taken some time, as is expected. I'll get it out in a second. But as soon as that's done, then the plan is to get goats. Maybe this will be the year for goats. I have a feeling this will be the year for goats. And I want milk goats. Audrey has some interest in showing goats, and I just think that they'd be fun pets. When Mama and David have had them before, they've had them as pets. My sister has some goats, and she was telling me that, kind of when they're expecting their goats to kids. So I don't know. I'm really excited about goats and looking forward to getting some goats. Now, as far as a cow, the space we're on is not really ideal for having cows or having a milk cow, although I would love to. My sister, on their new property, they have the space and the areas to dedicate to that, and that's something she's also interested in, is having a milk cow. So hopefully it'll work out where I can get milk from her as well. There are a few gardening questions and chicken questions. Y'all know I love gardening and I love my chickens and get excited about talking about those things. This person had said, ask for like easiest things to grow, walkthrough of seeds and fertilizer and those kinds of things. I'm going to put some videos down in the description box that go into more detail. So if that's something you're interested in, want to hear more about, those videos will be down in the description box, talking about composting and seeds and just some days in the garden. I'll put all that down in the description box. And it's that time of year. The planning for our spring garden is underway. It makes me so excited after the cold winter the rest of winter, it's just exciting to think about warmer weather and growing things. It makes me really excited. We grow pretty much year-round something. We did back off on our fall garden this year to give some spaces some rest, but we still have our garlic overwintering. We have turnip greens. We have a long growing season here and take advantage of that as much as we can. But there's just something about that spring garden after the winter. It makes me so excited. So I'll put some videos down in the description box, and we're gearing up, getting ready for those things this year. I'm so excited. There were some questions about, do we do raised beds? Do we do no-till gardens? So we have several different garden spaces. We have some raised beds, a lot of in-ground gardening. I grew up around in-ground gardening. It's what most people in our area do, but we have a few different things. We have some raised beds. We have some in-ground gardens. We do not do no-till. Our soil here, and I know people say, oh, but you can. Our soil here is just not, we till responsibly. That's what I like to say. It's just what works best for our soil. And we have some spaces. I did not grow up around organic gardening, but I'm trying to learn some of those things. Have been for the last several years. I have some spaces I dedicate to learning about organic gardening, and then we have some other spaces where we do things that are not organic, some things that we just know work for us and that we're comfortable doing. So several different spaces, types of gardens, methods of gardening, and we share all that with you. Make sure you check out those videos in the description box. So I also said about watermelons. How do you get watermelons to grow? Y'all, and this kind of goes back to another part of this question before that said, I want to garden, but I just can't get the hang of it. Keep trying. Things don't always work like we think they should, but as long as you're learning from it, it's not a failure. And the more you do, the more experience you have, the more you learn. I've been around gardens my whole life, grew up in the garden. We spent a lot of time at Mama and Papa's. My parents worked full time, so me and my sister spent a good bit of time at Mama and Papa's, and we were in the garden with Papa and in the kitchen with Mama. And I still learn things. I'm still learning things. Things still don't go like I expect them to. If you were here this past summer, our cucumbers did not grow well. That's the first time I've ever had trouble growing cucumbers. We learned from it. Watermelons were one of those things that I always saw and had these sweet memories of Paw growing and going out there and picking watermelons. And at first, it was a struggle. It was a struggle, but I've asked Paw questions, and we figured out some different things that work, different spaces that work better for growing our watermelons. I found an organic fertilizer that we use with them, hand water them when they're still small plants. We start them from seed, direct sow the seed into the ground, keep it watered, use that organic fertilizer. I'll pop a picture up of it if I can, or put it down in the description box. And the last few years, we've had some really good success with watermelon, finding varieties that work really well for us. And I've loved growing watermelons. It's been my favorite thing to grow the last few years. I also really like to grow something that's a suggestion is radishes. If you like radishes, I'm always like, grow radishes. It's one of those things that grows pretty quickly. And so the gratification, the reward comes pretty quick. You can see them growing pretty quickly. I love raw radishes. I've learned that I also like roasted radishes. Tomatoes are one of my favorite things to enjoy out of the garden. Even if you think you don't like tomatoes, try a homegrown tomato. You might be surprised. That first tomato sandwich of the summer is just the best thing, y'all. So I love growing tomatoes. There'll be some videos. I could sit here and talk gardening all day. There'll be some helpful videos down in the description box if you want to see more, hear more about that. This diffuser on the counter behind me, some people, I think I've had 2 people now ask about it. A sweet subscriber sent that to us. It's a Young Living diffuser, and you can change different colors. You can make it look like a candle, like it flicker. You can change it to different colors. Isn't it gorgeous? But a couple of y'all had asked about that, and it's from Young Living. It's a diffuser. And then somebody asked me about this sweatshirt, and I wanted to be sure I answered that. This sweatshirt, and I can't remember what video I was wearing it in where you asked, but I love it. I love it so much that the week I got it, so Justin and the kids got this for me for Christmas, the sweatshirt and the matching sweatpants. I think I wore them like 3 or 4 times that first week. I wore them a few times, washed them, wore them again. Justin was like, are you going to wear those every day? So I might. So for my birthday, which was New Year's Eve, so like a week after Christmas, they took me to Dick's Sporting Goods and I picked out another set. I think it comes in 3 different color combinations. The other one I got is navy and tan, and I got some tan sweatpants to go with it. So now I have 2 in different colors because I loved them so much. But it came from Dick's Sporting Goods. The last couple of questions I'm going to answer today, again, there's some more that are really great questions, like goals for 2025, and yeah, just some other really good questions that I'm probably not going to get to today. I know I'm not going to get to today, but I'm saving those for that second video. So stay tuned and come back and visit this coffee shop with me, and we'll answer a few more questions towards the end of the week. But these last few that I'm going to answer today revolve around school and what that looks like for our family. And I've been meaning to sit down and talk about this a little bit. This is a good opportunity, I guess. So first off, a little bit of background. We have 5 kids. Our oldest, Audrey, she's in 9th grade, and she's gone to public school for the last couple of years. And then the next 2, Easton's in 7th grade and Huddy is in 4th grade, and they homeschool. Something I don't think I've shared is Easton is actually going to public school for 1 class a day this year, and that allows him to play sports with the school. So he plays baseball and football and basketball and is on the fishing team. So he goes for 1 class a day, and then Huddy homeschools. The youngest 2 are not school age yet. We do some preschool type things with them, but they're not school age yet. And some people would ask, is Audrey liking public school? How's that going for her? Well, she seems to enjoy it. She's thriving. I'll be honest, I would have kept her at home, but I knew so Audrey and Easton had been in public school, young, early elementary school age. And even when we homeschooled, she would occasionally ask about it. And then as she got older, she said it was something that she felt like she wanted to do. It was go back to public school. So we prayed about it, decided to give it a try, even though this mama was so hesitant. But we decided to give it a try, and it's worked out really great for her. Recognizing each individual child's strengths and weaknesses and what works best for them is really important. And this is working out really great for her. We live in a place where we have a really good school system, which makes all the difference. There are some places where I would not have my kids in public school, but we do have a really good school here, good educators, good administrators. Now, it's flawed. Nowhere is perfect. There are some things that she doesn't like, but for the most part, there's some things I don't like, but for the most part, it's going really good. She's enjoying it. She's doing really well, making fantastic grades. Let me just brag on her for a little bit because she deserves it. At the end of the school year last year, she got awards for highest grades across multiple subjects. What I'm probably most proud of is she got a Good Citizen of the Year award. This year going into high school, they did some ACT testing, and she scored the highest in her grade level and tied with the highest in the grade above her. So she's doing really well as far as her grades and those kinds of things. And then that's a little bit of encouragement for you homeschool parents, grandparents, whatever out there. I know sometimes people tell us your children are going to fall behind, or you're doing your children a disservice by homeschooling them. And we can even question ourselves sometimes. Am I doing enough? Am I capable of this? Even though we know we are, sometimes we still question it. So Audrey, when she went back into public school, now Audrey is brilliant, and less credit to me, more credit to her. But she was not behind. She was ahead. She is thriving. She is doing wonderful. Homeschooling did not hinder her. And then there was a question about, do I think my other kids will go to public school? You know, I don't know what the future holds. at the beginning of the year, Easton's going for this one class, and he said, well, I might want to try staying for the whole day. And I said, well, let's start with the one class, and then we'll see. And he decided, no, I'll go for the one class. I'll do the rest at home. They just really don't have an interest in going to public school. But I'm kind of in that never say never boat because we don't know what the future holds. I always say that we are praying about and seeking out what's best for our children and what's best for our family, not even just year to year, but day to day, and not even just with school, but with everything in life. So we'll, don't know what the good Lord has in store, but right now the plan is to keep homeschooling, and when the younger two are school age, homeschool them because we love it. Homeschooling is really special, but you never know. You never know what tomorrow holds. Somebody said, what's Audrey's plans as far as college? Is she planning to go to college? What does she want to do after high school, or what is she planning for her future? So our kids in general, college is not one of those things where we're like, you have to go to college. If our kids decide to go to college, we'll support them. If they don't, we'll support them. Now, we're not, especially with our boys, it's not going to be one of those things where, oh, you finish high school, you just sit on the couch and chill. We want them to have skills, learn skills, be able to provide for a family. Some of our boys say they don't have any interest in going to college. I mean, they're still young. We'll see. Audrey, it seems like the path she is on is that she will go to college. That's what she wants, and I think will be fantastic for her. And I'm excited to see what her future holds. Like I have said, I've bragged on her. All of my children, I could just sit here and brag and brag and brag on them. They work hard. They're very smart. They put their whole heart into everything they do, and I'm just so proud of every one of them. I could sit here and name off each one of their strengths and just go on and on about how proud I am of them. But Audrey, she says she wants to go to college, and I think that'll be great for her. She's thrown around some different ideas over the last little while of things she might want to do. I don't know that she really has anything. She's like, oh, this is what I want to do. Hey, Audrey, what do you want to be when you grow up? No clue, she said. She's talked about different things like sports photography and marketing, and I don't know. She's still trying to figure it out, and we'll do our best to support her as she keeps trying to figure it out. She's our oldest, and she's at that age where she's really, it's starting to think about these things, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun to think about and watch her grow into this. She said it's not fun, decisions, but it is. It's fun to watch her grow into a young lady and start to make these decisions and see where life takes her. I think about that sometimes, about what that's going to look like for each of our children, and just how fun and what an honor it is to get to watch them grow up and see where life takes each one of them. See what God has in store for them. All right, that's where I'm going to stop on my questions for today. We'll answer some more later on. Thank you again for wanting to know more. Thank you for supporting our family, for watching our videos, for encouraging us, for being here and being a part of what we got going on. It's about time for me to start on some supper and do a few other things around here. There's some dishes to be done, some clothes to be done. Always plenty to do. All right, I love you. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.